We're in the back room with Morne Morkel. Welcome along. What was your first bat? Can you remember it?
My first bat, interesting story. So obviously I'm the youngest in the family. I've got two older brothers. So in my family I'd worked with my oldest brother Milan. He used to get the bat, and if the toe sort of cracked or broke, my dad will just go and chop the piece off, and eventually it came to me. So it went from a sort of long handle, a long blade, to eventually to like a short number 4. And that was a Duncan Furley back in the days.
Was it?
But my first sort of bat that was in my cricket bag, my brother toured the UK again, and then I think they visited the Slashinger factory, and he brought back a V500 for me at that time, which I was over the moon. It was the best bat ever. Slept with it.
Did
like any
cherished it?
Yeah, like any child, will do when you received your first bat. So yeah, that was my first proper bat. Was a V500.
Would you still have it anywhere?
I don't think so. No, we've played so many backyard games, with the wet tennis ball, and like your first couple of weeks, you look after the bat and it's everything, and then it just goes to pieces. No. And also our house burned down in 1992, so I think the V500
might have been part of the kindling.
Is part of the
What were those backyard sessions like with your brothers? Brutal?
Very intense. Very intense. No, we had everything. We had the orange stumps. Like sort of a floodlight in the backyard. So it went from late afternoons into night cricket. So the lawn was a mess in the backyard. There was some subcontinent wickets with the lawnmower cut out. We made everything there. So my dad, after a while, eventually just gave up. And he said, "Yeah, we must just go crazy."
Do you remember your first sponsored bat?
First sponsored bat was actually Vampire.
One of those?
Yeah. So Vampire, they've got a factory in my hometown. I'm not going to ask you to pronounce it. I'll pronounce it. It's called Vereniging.
Oh, thank you for
doing
that. Yeah.
Yes, down on the Vaal, and they've got a factory sort of outlet in my hometown. And I used to bunk school, most of the days, and just go down and look at the bats and the guys. I used to find out when their shipping container will be there, and I helped them. With the shipping container, and always used to be there. So from school level, they sort of looked after me, and then I was with them ever since.
All bowlers like to bat. Are you particular about your bats?
Yes, a lot of guys. I used to get a lot of stick from the batters. Said I'm the number 11 and I'm the 10 with the most amount of bats. But even when I speak to the guys now in India. I phoned him and I said, "Listen, this is how I want my bat." And I actually come to realize now at 35 I need to be relaxed with that. But I don't know. I'm still very sort of, what's the word? Particular, with my bat. And today I was hitting a couple of balls in the indoor nets and it wasn't pinging so nicely. So I went to Deva and I said, "I'm not happy." And I said, "Morne, relax. You okay?" So, yeah.
So what have you got there? Well, how heavy is it? And it's not a long blade, even though you're 6 foot plenty, but it's a long handle, is that right?
I went for a normal blade. I just felt, with my sort of hook and pull shots. And
Brian Lowry, right?
Yeah, well, the normal blade helps me with that, but a longer handle. Of course, I'm 6'5". It helps me a little bit with, facing those Yorkers, because nose and toes, that's the policy for our fast bowlers. And so long handle, and then the weight is between, for red ball cricket I'll go from 2.7, 2.8, and then white ball cricket a little bit heavier.
You're taking this seriously, aren't you?
Well, I introduced Ashim Amla to Vampire.
Okay, he went all right with it.
He made the move from Kookaburra to BAS, and he became one of the best batters in the world. But I think it's fun. It's I don't know, I enjoy it.
Those great batsmen that you play with in South Africa, were they all very particular about their bats?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's why that's their job, to go out and bat, and they're facing Mitchell Johnson bowling 150, 155, 90 miles an hour. You need to have the right equipment. So I sort of sometimes just do it to wind them up, but like Graham Smith is the guy. He was the easiest fish to catch.
How did you wind him up?
No, just about my bats and all those sort of things. I can just see I was getting to him, and it was good fun.
What's your favourite innings then? Come on, one you played.
I tell the guys in my Test career, my biggest disappointment is that I've never got a Test 50. I got close a couple of times. Once in Abu Dhabi, myself and AB were batting. AB got the South African record. I was on 37 odd, and we decided to declare, which, if it was a timeless test, I reckon we'd still be playing. And we had Eunice Khan bowling at the stage, but that was my 50 guaranteed. Australia threw it away a couple of times. I managed to get, a 40 year. I mean, SCG, the cracks, that is my first sort of tour to Australia. Playing the SCG, you've got these cracks. My front foot was sort of lost in that canyon there and facing Mitchell. I got a 40 there. I think it's probably the best innings I've ever played.
Were they always trying to coach you, the batters, and telling you to calm down?
They did. When I first started playing, I batted at 8. So I was a proper batsman. There was even, my name.
So hard work doesn't actually pay off.
Yeah. So when my name was on the screen, there was a bat next to the ball. So I was classed as the next Sean Pollock when I made my debut. It was amazing.
Just pick that up then. So this is what, 2-7 or whatever.
Yeah.
So this will be a red ball. But how many first class runs have you got in it this season with that one then? Do you reckon? Come on, prediction.
So my goal for this season with the bat is to average 25. But the thing is, like I said to you, I'm not going to focus so much. I don't want to focus so much on the runs. I want to focus on balls faced. So because I feel, again, if I'm there for 50 balls, I've formed some sort of partnership, and that also means that the batting at 10 or 11 or 9, that means that the bowlers is also their workload is a little bit more. So the guys always spend a bit more time in the field. So I've moved away from runs. Right, okay. I'm going on balls faced.
Well, come on, tap it up. What's this one like? Give us your expert.
This one is still a little bit hard. I need to give it a bit of a loving.
Okay. How are you going to do that? Just hit balls?
Hit balls. I always used to hate it when I go to India, and then the Indians will take a bat and do that thing, and is it a good bat? He says, no, it's not a good bat. I'm like, how do I hold your toe, your middle finger? So like I say, hopefully later on this one will start to ping, but it's still new.
Okay.
I've got a
TLC then, she'll be right.
I've got an old one there that I'll bring out.
How many bats you got? How many did you carry around with you?
I think I travel with 2, but I've got a couple in the locker.
Okay. We wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice.